I don't know who needs to really hear this, but your partner's feelings are not your responsibility. What? I know, shocker, right? Hear and understand what I'm saying. Your partner's feelings, their emotions, are not your responsibility. It's not your job to manage them for them. It's not your job to work around the way they feel, to navigate how's my partner feeling today and what do I need to do to make sure peace stays in the relationship. I'm saying this because a lot of you are out there trying to do the work emotionally for you and your partner. You're the glue, the tape that keeps the relationship together in that regard. Whether you intentionally always want to make sure things are in a harmonious space with your partner and you're always the people pleaser and want to jump through hoops and hurdles to make sure your partner's never upset, because if they're upset, maybe they're upset at you, or maybe they retract their love away, they shut down or whatever. It creates an unpleasant experience that you don't want. So you try to make sure you always go above and beyond to make sure they stay happy so that you can stay happy. Or maybe you're taking the if I just don't say or don't do this thing approach, they won't get upset type of way of going about it, right? Maybe you're the person that chooses what you will not say and won't do so that your partner doesn't become triggered, doesn't say certain things, and then becomes a blow up, right? Trying to keep the peace, all of that. That's a reverse engineered way of trying to manage your partner's emotions. The point is, if you find yourself operating in any way on what you're doing or not doing that is out of alignment with how you naturally are, who you are as a person, how you typically would be in a comfortable way, in respect to your partner and their feelings, you're most likely managing their emotions for them. When in reality, it's their responsibility to be in control of their emotions and to manage their emotions. Your job is to support their emotions. Your job is to be a contribution to the way they feel, not a hindrance to it. But it's not your job to police and be responsible for how they feel. They're responsible for that. Stop doing the work for you and for them. You're hurting them more when you do it. Yeah, it sounds good on the surface, may even feel good emotionally because maybe you don't have to go through uncomfortable things, right? Maybe you avoid the arguments, or maybe you keep the energy up in the house or in the room because you're overcompensating for the areas that they're lacking in. Yeah, it works for a little bit of time, but you're setting yourself up for burnout. You're setting yourself up for resentment in some way. Because at some point you're going to feel out of balance. You're going to feel that out of balance feeling from you taking more of the leg work. You having to work around them all the time. And all along the way, they're not getting the gift of growth to learn. I have to learn how to manage myself better and show up better as a partner. They're slowly deteriorating as a person, building themselves up. If anything, this is tearing them down. It's stripping away. They're disintegrating in a way because you're not letting them put their reps in. Like in the gym, lifting the weights. I mean, think about it. If you're going to the gym with someone, your workout buddy, right? Your partner in crime to go work out with. And you're going to go and you guys are going to do like the bench press. You know, you get down, you get the bar, the weights on there, you're trying to push it up. You're spotting them, right? If you're sitting there spotting this person and they're trying to lift these weights, and every time it starts to get to a struggle point to where they're trying to get it up, and that's the point where they build the muscle, right? The muscle builds through the fighting through the challenge. So your body starts to react and create the cells to start building muscle so it can take on this challenge you're giving it. But if you step in every time when they're just about to struggle and you start to lift the weight for them, you spot it, but you take too much of the pressure off of them to where it's easy for them to get it up. They're not building the muscle. Doing all this working out, but they're never actually improving. That's what you're doing whenever you are trying to be responsible for their feelings in the way they're handling them. The only thing you're responsible for is how you showed up and how you contributed to the way they feel and how you're responding to the way they feel, but never for their feelings themselves. If anything, being that our first responsibility in a relationship is to come to serve, we serve each other, that way we both win and get served. Your job, if anything, is to where you see areas that your partner is struggling with managing their own emotions and feelings, to try to offer some sort of contributing advice, help, or support that will help them learn to do it, help them build the muscle, Don't try to beat the muscle for them. And how do you do that? The best way, as always, is asking them better questions. I like to call them empowering questions. Ask them questions that forces them to challenge their own mind, their own way of thinking, that will empower them if they start to give more empowering answers to themselves. Ask them things like, hey, do you like the way you respond emotionally in different ways? Do you feel like you like the type of person you have to be when you get all agitated and upset? Do you like getting upset so easily? What would help you to not have to respond that way, right? What do you feel really triggers you to be in that space, right? Do you like the individual that you are whenever you're in these type of moments? Things that force them to challenge looking at their own way of operating and answer for how they feel about who they are when they're operating in such ways. Why do you do that? Because none of us wants to be the quote unquote bad guy at the end of the day. All of us are built on a love frequency at its core. We get conditioned away from being that sometimes, but that's our core. So what that means is no one wants to go to bed at night feeling like they're the bad person, feeling like they're dropping the ball, feeling like they're a horrible individual. So when you ask them better questions that helps them challenge to look at the way they're operating, it can help inspire them to want to do better and do something differently, especially if you're modeling it yourself. And in modeling it yourself, as you should be, right? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't call them out and you're not doing the work yourself. But if you are managing your emotions better than they may be, and you can identify that, then go help them. Help give them some tools. Focus on who they are as a person, not who you are, right? How they communicate, how they operate, how they think, and offer areas of suggestion if they're open to it that they may embrace to help them improve their ability to manage their own emotions, right? That's how you truly contribute to, nurture, and assist your partner's emotions and their feelings, and don't try to do the managing for them. If you're in that kind of situation and you need help building the skills and the tools for helping your partner manage their emotions so that you can have a more balanced relationship and not one that's out of balance, put more strain on you and becoming more stressed and maybe building resentment inside of you, then email or DM me coaching and we will get to work if you're ready to put the work in. Let's get it.